Hey everyone, Clive Adams here for, well, it's a special edition of a CEO update. I've got the Bowls Australia CEO, Neil Dalrymple, with me. G'day, Neil.
Hi, Clive.
And of course, Australian Jackaroo, Barrie Lester. How are you, Barry?
Yeah, very good, Clive. Thanks for having me, mate. It's been a while.
Yeah, certainly has. Certainly has. Look, I guess we've all been watching, some of us from afar and some of us are a bit closer to what's been going on over there on the East Coast, particularly through New South Wales and in Queensland, Neil. And look, the devastating images that are coming through with the flooding and the amazing weather that everyone's experienced over the last few days.
It is quite devastating, Clive. But I suppose, yeah, we really reach out and send our best wishes to all of those, not only the bowling clubs, but also those communities that have been impacted by these we say once in a lifetime, Clive, don't we? But it seems to be becoming more prevalent as the way the climate's working, and these downpours are certainly having a significant impact. And I think we're all being touched by it. So yeah, certainly reach out to those people, particularly in the bowling clubs that have been impacted, and that devastation that they're suffering, and particularly I'd like to highlight our disaster relief fund that Bowls Australia established many years ago. And I still have memories of those floods in Queensland and Brisbane, and watching the rains and the water rising in Brisbane, and I think it was about 10 years ago now. And so since that time, we've established this disaster relief fund, and unfortunately, it's been getting a fair run over the years, whether it's been floods or fires. The devastation that these natural disasters cause has a real impact on the sport.
Yeah, I guess it's one of those things we establish and we hope we never have to use, but it's been all a bit too regular of late. Barry, up in your area, up at Burleigh there and so forth, up on the Gold Coast, you've been hit hard up there.
Yeah, it's a bit scary at the moment, Clive. You drive past, local parks and stuff, and you see the top of swings and stuff like that. It's really, really heavy rain. I think they've gone back to sort of the 1950s and 60s and looked at records there, and they've broken some of those. So Neil was talking about those Brisbane floods back in 2011, and I think over the last 4 or 5 days, some areas of the Gold Coast over 600 mil of rain, and then over 100 mil of rain in 5 or 6 hours, just relentless and just pouring down hour after hour. And to see cars getting washed off roads and homes getting moved around and stuff like that. And then to see the amount of bowling greens underwater and clubs being affected directly, it's not good. And, Neil touched on the Bowls Australia disaster relief, and we're very proud of that initiative from the Bowls Australia's perspective. And I'm proud to be associated with it, and any little bit that can do to help any bowls clubs out there moving forward overcome some of these disasters, which have all happened too much lately, and we feel for everyone going through it. I think it's a great initiative, and yeah, it's really sad to see some clubs going through what they're going through.
Barry, we're of course not sure of all the clubs that have been affected at this stage, and obviously lots of individuals as well. But I know you've been keeping an eye on some of the clubs that have been affected. Just give us a rundown of some of the effect you've seen out there.
Yeah, and I guess that's the beauty of social media. I've just been looking at Nelson Bay, Wiseman's Ferry. I remember going through there as a kid. Haven't played there, but Nambucca Head's really, really heavily affected area. Foster Tongue Curry, all those parts. Even just Mudgee Bar, just down the road from me. We've got a gentleman that works at Burleigh Heads Bowls Club that lives in Mudgee Bar, and he said to me the other day at work, he said he's packed some stuff for overnight because he doesn't know if he can actually get home back to Mudgee Bar from Burleigh Heads. So I know that Bowls Club in particular has been heavily affected. And the thing about the Bowls Club, some of them are in areas where if there is any heavy water, the roads are closed, and then all the loss of trade for the clubs. So if there's no bowls being played, there's still other trade coming in other ways. But if you can't access the actual bowling club, there's no trade at all. And that's been one of the biggest, I guess, disasters for these clubs, the restriction of trade through the flood affected areas. And I know Mudgee Bar's been one of those, and a fair few other bowls clubs. So it's sad to see, and we're thinking of all the clubs out there, and moving forward, if we can all work together as a bowling community to continue to raise money for the Bowls Australia disaster relief any way they can, they should be happy and proud to know that any money they contribute will be helping out clubs that are suffering.
Yeah, certainly, Neil. The Bowls Australia website, of course, bowls.com.au is the place to go to get more information on the Disaster Relief Fund. And also for clubs out there that need some help from their regional bowls manager, they should be reaching out there as well.
No, 100%, Clive. And look, it's not going to replace a bowling green or, certainly any significant infrastructure that's been impacted by the floods. But I suppose what the Disaster Relief Fund does is help bowling clubs get back up and going. And a small investment from that fund will help. Might be the small things with getting some more mats and jacks and some other kind of smaller pieces of equipment to get back trading when hopefully they can get back trading. So yeah, it's not going to be the savior or from that perspective, but it's really there to help support those clubs impacted. And what we will do, and I can guarantee that this will happen, is that we will turn applications around very quickly. I mean, we do have the authority, and I have the authority of the BA board to move quickly on these. And so, yeah, we obviously want to get more money into the fund, but equally, we will then distribute the funds quickly. So yeah, I mean, we're ready, willing and able, ready to go and turn this around very quickly. But yeah, reaching out and asking, I suppose, the bowls community across Australia to support the fund in any way that they can would be fantastic. And to do that over the next few weeks, few months is obviously going to be critical to make sure we can support those bowls clubs that have been impacted.
Yeah, Barry, you've got some ideas on that, haven't you? If you're a club from afar, perhaps that's looking out and seeing what's going on, and you want to do something to help.
Yeah, no doubt. One of the things that is unfortunate, especially for these grass greens, while they sit so long underwater, that's when the disease can really kick in. And we know it's a pretty expensive process looking after the greens. And so at the moment they're underwater for a long period of time, when they come back, the sun hits them, and that you need money to pay for chemicals and things like that. So there's some ongoing bills, but I can only encourage bowls clubs out there that if they're running any weekly raffles at the moment or coming together for any events at the moment, that if they haven't got some form of relationship with a current charity organisation, team up with the Bowls Australia Disaster Relief for the weekend or for the month, and maybe put some things on around the club, knowing that a club near you, maybe down the road, that's affected directly, or a club on the other side of the country, that when you contribute those funds to Bowls Australia, you're acknowledged for that, and the members should be proud for that, and the club showing that initiative. So anything you can do. We know clubs are ongoing, running different raffles around Australia and within their four walls. So maybe choose Bowls Australia's Disaster Relief as your go-to fund while these disasters are so raw.
Well said. As we say, head to bowls.com.au and follow the links to the Disaster Relief Fund page, and you get all the information you need right there. Guys, on some positive news, we do have the Australian Champion of Champions event happening at Club Dandenong at the moment. Neil, I know you were there. You were there yesterday, and looking forward to a great event.
Absolutely, Clive. And just to again thank the Dandenong Club for their support of the Disaster Relief Fund. And at the recent BPL, Barry contributed a few touches to those. I think a couple anyway. But I mean, they did provide, and they raised $2,000, which went into that fund. And let me say, the Dandenong Club have been a great contributor to the Disaster Relief Fund now over a number of years. So I thank them very much. And also to all those clubs that have donated, but particularly the Dandenong Club, given that they are hosting the Champion of Champions, as you say, right at the moment. And look, it's a fantastic venue, as we know, and it's a great field. Unfortunately, the WA players couldn't get there, which was a pity, but that was just the timing of COVID and the closure of borders. But the 7 representatives from the other states and territories, it's a great field, and it's going to be hotly contested over the next 2 days. And yeah, looking forward to seeing the culmination tomorrow night, Thursday night, where we'll see 2 national champions crowned.
Of course, you can follow all the action on the Bowls Australia Facebook page through Rinkside Live. And of course, Club Dandenong close to your heart as well, Barry, home of the Melbourne Pulse, of course. And we've had one BPL and we're not far off another one.
Yeah, I had the pleasure when I was a regional bowls manager for Bowls Australia, Clive, in working with the Dandenong Club, sort of nearly close to the induction of the program. And they were a club that great location, really good facilities, and just needed a little bit of direction and probably a little bit more help from the powers to be. And when Ross Dunlop got involved, the GM, and they took over the bowl section, they haven't looked back at all. What a great club it is. They're doing great things for the sport, as Neil said, raising money for great initiatives and also providing fantastic events under their brand new roof. And yeah, it's a good club and great people. We always say good people make great clubs. And they've got many of those. And yeah, I love being involved in the club and just love seeing at one stage that sort of little underdog club, maybe not knowing what the future looks like, putting some plans together and working with the regional bowls managers over the years in Bowls Australia to see where they are now. And the Champion Champions is a great event with a great field, and they should be honoured and very proud of their achievements to be able to host it.
All right. Well, and of course, BPL, not far away, just a few weeks away. You must be looking forward to that as well. Yeah,
most definitely. Yeah, we've been spoilt really the last few years. Some of the venues it's been played at, to be able to go over to Lower Hutt there at Nine Eye Bowls Club in Wellington, to be able to travel with the event. Unfortunately, not currently, but one day hopefully we might be able to get back overseas for the BPL. But yeah, to be able to go to places like Moama and Pine Rivers, first class establishments with really good facilities. So yeah, looking forward to get back there. And we were pretty close. A gentleman by the name of Aaron T, and Corey Wedlock and Chloe Stewart, they went out and won it at the Tweed Heads Offs race, but they got in our way in the end, and they were just too good. But yeah, we're hoping we can go a little bit better. But we're very proud of our efforts in the last event, and I'm sure if we can play somewhere near as that, then we can make the finals and push the opposition right to the end.
Yeah, look, Neil, a final message for everyone out there. We just want them to stay safe, don't we?
Absolutely, and yeah, we send our best wishes to all. And I know I've got a cousin in Port Macquarie whose house has been flooded, so you keep in touch with them and send nice messages, and you hope that things. I even heard it might be stopping raining, but there's still a few more days of hardship ahead because of the amount of water that's actually been flowing down the rivers. So there's still some tough times to come. So we wish everyone well, and I know that there are obviously plenty of bowlers are impacted around this particular disaster. So we're sending nice messages to them as well. So look for, hopefully they can get back on the green in the months to come, and we can all help in the recovery.
Our clubs are about our people, and so whilst the facilities might be struggling and so forth, our clubs are about our people. If you know someone that's affected, reach out to them, make sure that they're okay. Guys, thanks for your time, Neil and Barry.
Yeah, thanks, Clive.
Cheers, Clive. Thanks, Barry.
Thanks, everyone. We'll catch you next time.